Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, check, check, check. If you can hear me, say yay! And if you can't hear me, say yay! Oh, wow, that's interesting. So if we could gather together in our seats, we have so much mingle time for the next 3 days, and it's going to be so awesome to get together. It's so exciting. There's so much energy in this place right now. So welcome everyone to St. Andrew's College and to ReJUNEvation Nation. Yes. And although you'll see in your brochures that registration included light snacks, we do have heavy topics here, and we must venture right into the heart of this event. First, I want to acknowledge with you that today is World Refugee Day. Oxfam had sent me a little note in my inbox that nearly 66 million people are displaced due to conflict, persecution, and natural disaster. That is the most people in all of history. So in whatever you choose to acknowledge these people, in whatever way, it matters. And with me, we sing. It's helpful. We sing in prayer, and we sing with hope, and we sing encouraging action for a loving relationship. Come, touch our hearts, that we may know compassion. From failing embers, build a blazing fire. Love strong enough to overturn injustice, to seek a world more gracious. Come, touch, and bless our hearts. Come touch our hearts that we may know compassion. From failing embers build a blazing fire. Love strong enough to overturn injustice, to seek a world more gracious. Come touch and bless our hearts. Touch our minds and teach us how to reason. Set free our thoughts to wonder and to dream. Help us to open doors of understanding, to welcome truth and wisdom. Come touch and bless our hearts. Yes, we welcome truth and wisdom, especially in the next few days in this event, ReJUNEvation. This is a time for us to come together, to rise together, to stand together, and to come and sing it out together. There is a time that we must rise. There is a time that we must stand. There is a time that we must come together. For blessed are our lives, blessed our love, and blessed the promise gathered now. There is a time that we must leave, go from the place where hatreds breed, and turning feel the Spirit breathe us together. For blessed are our lives, blessed our love, and blessed the promise gathered now. There is a time that we must rise. There is a time. Feel free to stand. There is a time that we must come together. For blessed are our lives, blessed our love, and blessed the promise gathered now. Should I have them sit or stand? Okay, I'll let you sit. Trying to envision it. You know, when my partner Kevin walked in the door yesterday afternoon after a long 9-hour workday, I quickly greeted, or more likely I confronted him with this question. Kev, what does wisdom mean to you? Is it like knowledge that gets into your being, or... And he stops and he thinks and he holds his head and he looks at me and he says, why do you ask such tough questions after a long day of work? But you know, this is a question I'd like all of us to ponder over the next while, and actually over our lifetimes. We welcome and we seek wisdom. And you know, even Lorne, with all his wiseness and his retiring, continues to seek wisdom and learning. We all do. I had to acknowledge that because we had a wonderful evening together with Lorne last week, and it's beautiful. So I want to talk about wisdom, and I want to use this little piece before we enter into our panel tonight. And the words are very simple. Teach me wisdom in my secret heart. Teach me wisdom in my heart. Just a little bit from Psalm 51. And Bruce Harding so beautifully put notes onto these words. And it goes like this. I'll sing it through once. And then I'd like everyone to sing it through once. And then here's the challenge. We have to be very wise with this challenge. Then we will do it as a round. So I will have, this will be part 1, this section. And that section's part 2. And if any section has trouble, then that means it's your duty to help out the section that's having trouble, okay? Now, part 1, you're going to keep going. I'll start you in, and then you keep going, okay? Part 2, you will follow my voice because I will bring you in, and part 1, you're going to keep going with the piano. So the piano is going to play part 1. This is my challenge, isn't it? Yeah. The piano will play part 1, and my singing will be part 2. Okay, there we go. Somebody's thinking I should have thought this through a little more. Okay, this is how it goes. I can do it. Here's what it sounds like. Teach me wisdom in my secret heart. Teach me wisdom in my heart. Teach me wisdom in my secret heart. Teach me wisdom in my heart. All. Teach me wisdom in my secret heart. Teach me wisdom in my heart. Teach me wisdom in my secret heart. Teach me wisdom in my heart. Part 1. Teach me wisdom in my secret heart. Teach me wisdom in my secret heart. Teach me wisdom in my heart. Teach me wisdom in my heart. Teach me wisdom in my secret heart. Teach me wisdom in my heart. Teach me wisdom in my secret heart. Teach me wisdom in my heart. Something we can take away with us. We'll be doing this a few times over the next 3 days. Thank you.
You see? There's an on switch. So now the microphone is on. It's very good. So, hi, and welcome to ReJUNevation. My name is Lynn Caldwell, and I work in this place as a professor of church and society. And I am your host, facilitator, MC for the theme times for the next few days, and starting with tonight. So I want to say a little bit about tonight, offer some acknowledgments of the space we're in, and we'll move into the events of tonight. Later on, I'll come back and say a little bit more about what's happening at ReJUNevation in terms of the agenda and that kind of thing. So tonight, we're going to have some introductions, share some information about St. Andrews, kind of settle into being here, and we're going to get right into the theme with the wonderful input of, and you'll have seen this on your agenda, some conversation starters. So Manuela, Janelle, and Amanda are 3 people that I've invited to come here and to offer their reflections on what this theme of repair in a world of colonial settler racism means to them. What do you observe? What experiences are called to mind? And I'm going to say more about these 3 in a little bit, but I just want to say just how incredibly grateful I am to the 3 of you for, and so saying yes. They all said yes so quickly. And so I'm really, really grateful for that and for you being here. And we're starting with 3 voices and with everyone's voices as we welcome our theme speaker for the next 3 days. So, and I'm going to introduce Jennifer Harvey a little bit more fully later on, but I would like to invite you to just stand and give a wave so folks know you're indeed here. So welcome to Jennifer. We will hear from Jennifer at the end of the evening tonight as well to introduce the theme, and so I'll say a little bit more about you then. So we expect that the sort of formality in sitting here in this space will finish by 9. There's plenty of snacks and coffee and water at the back too, so feel free to wander back there and stick around after to enjoy as well. So I want to, as we begin, take a moment to acknowledge that we are in this place and in this moment gathered in a land that has a long and ongoing history as the traditional territories of the Plains Cree and the homeland of the Métis Nation. And as I do so, I invite us to center our acknowledgement of where we are as a place of long and ongoing histories and futures of Indigenous life, community, and leadership. So I invite us to take a moment of silence to acknowledge the ancestors, the communities, the nations, the peoples of this place. So again, we're here. And to say welcome to ReJUNevation 2018 is to welcome you to some days of conversation, insight, and learning together on the theme of the call to repair in a world of colonial settler racism. To say welcome to ReJUNevation 2018 is to say welcome to a conversation and reality that we're always and already immersed in. So we're starting a new conversation, but it's a conversation we're already immersed in. So another acknowledgement is to make at the outset is that racism, and specifically colonial settler racism, is a condition that affects all of our lives and our relations with each other. Canada's very existence is a racial story, and that doesn't explain everything, and it's not the only way to consider our relations, but Canada, as any kind of social reality, is a racial story. These two are acknowledgements from which to begin. And this word of welcome is intended also as a heartfelt offer of hospitality to you as we gather for this time together that's yet to be. And it's also an acknowledgement that we're called here to wrestle with ways that we're already together in this world, to reckon with how race and racism mess us up in deeply difficult ways, and to share with each other, and particularly to hear from Jennifer in the theme times as we go along, from her perspectives on calls to repair and to possibility. So welcome to a gathering of collaboration, reflection, and learning, and to ReJUNevation 2018. I want to just say quickly a little bit about St. Andrews, and then we'll get into the conversation starter. So I know lots of folks here have long histories with St. Andrews. Some folks are here for the first time. But all the time that we gather in this place, it's kind of good to think about, so what is this place? So this is partly information for folks who are here for the first time or new, but for all of us, it's a chance just to kind of think about what this place is. So it's a theological seminary of the United Church of Canada. This building we gather in has been here in this space for somewhere around 100 years. And the college itself, originally a Presbyterian seminary, has been around for just over 100 years. Currently in this college, there are students involved in the study of theology and of leadership for ministry in the United Church of Canada. Some of these students are on site taking classes through the year. Some return from sites where they're engaged in ministry residencies as part of their training. And some are students who take classes from a distance as part of their completion of the program. And it happens that this year and this week, there are a number of students who are participating in ReJUNevation for credit. So they've been part of a course that started on Monday and are participating in here as part of the learning in that course. And you will notice that some folks might have stickers on their name tags. So it was an option for folks who would identify students to put a sticker on. So if you're a student from a distance, a student on site, a student here for the course, it's a chance for people to know your student and maybe ask you some questions about that. I would also like you to stand now, if you wouldn't mind. So if you're a student here for the course or a student at St. Andrews in some fashion, if you want to just kind of stand and do a 4-second wave. So thank you. So St. Andrews is a place of learning. It's about learning in classrooms, field placements, ministry residencies, chapels, churches. It's a place of learning through reading ancient texts and contemporary writing, through research, through seminar conversation, through mentorship. As a theological seminary of the United Church, it's a place where we grapple with present social realities, ancient teachings, institutional histories, future possibilities. And so we're here learning together and reckoning with our histories, because our histories are complicated, they're complex, our lives are complicated and complex, and we can learn from having conversations with each other together. So the theme, Zacchaeus, you come down. I'm not going to say anything more about Zacchaeus. I'll leave that to Jennifer. Zacchaeus, you come down. The call to repair in a world of colonial settler racism are the words we chose for this year's theme. And we'll hear more about that from Jennifer. And tonight, we invited these 3 people to speak from their own experiences. So I haven't asked them to, know the theme or know the conference. It's just come and tell us something about your lives, what you observe, what you see that's generated in terms of thinking through the call to repair. So I will invite Manuela and Amanda and Janelle to come up to the front, and we'll hear from them, and then I'm going to invite you to have some, it's not going to be a interrogate the panel night tonight. So we'll invite them to come forward and share, and then I'm going to invite you to share with each other. And to share with each other, not to have to report later, just to have that conversation. And I'll lead you into that when we get there. And then we'll conclude with some reflections from Jennifer. Okay?